Hi guys, it's Granny Tana speaking. Welcome to this Unreal Engine Devlog video and welcome to Talundia. In the last devlog we created Talundia, or rather the pre-version of Talundia for testing. But for me it already feels a little bit like the upcoming game Talundia. Oh, and if you don't know what Talundia is, here a short summary. Talundia is the name of my upcoming gardening game, and I built this game alone with the Unreal Engine, and it will be about gardening and self-sufficient gardening, homesteading, and so on. Yeah, and in this part of the devlog, I want to build the farm, or I want to start building the farm, because it will take quite a while until the farm is finished, but now the first small farmhouse and so. It won't be a real farm like with tractors and so, but rather old-fashioned, more like in the 19th century, without any big machinery, and so more a small homestead. And before we start building the farm, let's have a look at this mysterious house there. And maybe we just go there. In-game, I mean. Okay, here we are. And now my young woman, she has red dress, because yeah, those clothes are customable, and I thought a red dress would be nice. And she has more fair hair now, because yeah, I thought why not, and I want to feel a little bit like her, and I'm more the blonde type. Okay, so let's go to this house over there. It won't stay there, but I wanted to show it to you. And maybe first just have a look. Here, with some interior. And the house and the furnitures are from one of the packs, the asset packs that I told you about, that I got from Humble Bumble, and somehow I like this a lot, and it's easy to put together. So this house you can get ready-made at this pack. And then I went and furnished it. And yeah, while doing this, I realized this building has not only a lot of polygons, but the textures are enormously. And it's, yeah, I really feel it on my computer, which is quite a machine. It's old, but it's still, I think, quite a lot stronger than the average gaming PC. And I really feel this house. It pulls the performance, and it's only one house. And yeah, that is the most important part, because why I won't use this house. And the other reason is I find it too old-fashioned, too medieval. I don't want to make a medieval game, but more like 19th century. And sure, in the 19th century there were houses like that. I think there are still houses like that in some regions, and in a museum village also. But it is not at all typical for Central Europe 19th century in the countryside. And I thought I don't want to make an historical game, but this is just too medieval, too rustic. I want to have it rustic, but not like that. Okay, but I wanted to show it to you because somehow I like it and it is worth showing it. And in the next video, I guess this will be gone. And maybe I make some very rustic houses for at the edge of the forest, but I won't use those. And I will tell you numbers, but not now. So maybe we leave this here and we start building the farm. And yeah, when testing, I realized it is not only a little bit bumpy here, but it is rather high compared to the road. And yeah, I want the farm area to be more or less flat because I wanted to have around the central farm, I want to have areas where the player can put gardening, not pots, but I have to look it up how it is called. So those squarish boxes where you can grow your stuff. And for this area has to be rather flat. Not so much for the buildings. I could build the buildings that you could even build on a steep hill, but for this, the possibilities of the gardening. And so maybe I make it a little bit higher than the road. I think this is always a good idea. When it's too much rain, the house is not flooded too much. So first we flatten it. Okay, so we have the sculpting mode and then flatten. And yeah, this is big enough, and maybe from here tool strength 0.1. I go for 0.3. So, and we start there, and then we will see whether it's nice. And I'm flatten it in an area that is quite bigger than the actual farm. Yeah, because I want to have it expandable. So if the player wants to have more, more gardening boxes, then this should be easy. So, and don't worry, I won't leave the edges so steep. That would be terrible. So, and maybe I will adjust the road a little bit as well. We will see. So, and I go much further than I want, because when I smooth it, I lose a lot of this this flat area. So, I think now it's okay. And now I go into the smoothing. So, and maybe you can see that the flat area gets much smaller now because of the smoothing process. So, Okay. And I'm still struggling a little bit with the mouse movements you need to make to move the area. So this like so and so, it's still not in my fingers and in my muscle memory. And maybe I leave this little hilly area where this house stands, and yeah, I think it's a nice place to have a forest hut. And maybe I would even put it a little bit closer into the forest and give it a use later, but not this house, but one with a same amount of rusticness. Is this a word? I don't think so. But I hope you understand what I mean. So, now, as I realized that this house wouldn't work for me, I started building my own house for this use. So first I put down the player start, and you ask how to do this to let it drop to the ground. And when I have this activated, I just use the End key and then it falls down. So this is really simple. And now I move it outside of this area. So, is it okay like that? I guess so. Good. And now we place the house. It is very simple. I must warn you in advance. So it is nothing fancy, because it should be very simple. A very small wooden house. And as you can see, it is rather dirty and a lot of moss on the roof. It took me several days to to make the material shader to be so dirty and do you say mossy? Mossy? Mossy. Maybe rather mossy. And here I see there is a little bump in the ground. So flatten again, and then now here we are. And maybe later I will add some purposeful bumps, but right now it should be flat. So there's a house, and then I thought we would need something like a shed, and not for the tractor, because there won't be a tractor, but for all kinds of stuff. So the bag of wheat for the chicken as food, and the we won't have a plow, but garden harrow and all this stuff. And therefore I made a shed workshop like so. Yeah, and before it was double the size. It was my smallest shed from Farm Sim, from one of my mods, and I built a workshop at the left side, and then it has double the side, even if it was the smallest one. And I looked at it and thought, oh, this is much too big. It needs to be much smaller. And then I made it much, much smaller. Yeah, and now I think the size is okay. And here inside this workshop, we can make things like the apple juice, for example, and do some of this Homestead productions, and maybe some store stuff that needs to be stored inside. It will get a door, and the hut will get a door as well. And I think I will further embellish it. So here I have this frame around the door, and I will make this, but I wanted to finish it to make this video for you now. And this won't be the final version anyhow. Yeah, and therefore I think for the first version it's rather okay-ish. And then maybe I just put it a little bit further here, and then we could have a chicken coop here, or a chicken hut, and the chicken can roam around freely. And here in this area I want to have the gardening. I really have to look it up. The gardening boxes. And then maybe a greenhouse here. And I want to have apple trees and other trees, more rather in the back, I think. Yeah, and then maybe a pasture for sheep, but further away. And maybe you need to buy this. If you have earned enough money, you need to buy this pasture for the sheep, and then you need to buy sheep, because that would be the more advanced gameplay. But a chicken coop would be integrated into the farm. So now let's go again inside. And here it's still totally empty, but here I imagine some tables and shelves and some simple machinery, like the apple juice press that I made for the farming simulator. And as I made it myself, I can also use it for this game. And we will need an apple juice press, and I can imagine it very good standing somewhere here, and other machinery. And this is the house, and as you can see, it's small, a tiny house, but I think it's enough for living. Yeah, and what I want to do with you now is to furnish this a little bit. And then maybe place one or two trees that it looks a little bit nicer already. Okay, but first we furnish it. And therefore we go outside. And I could put the furniture just inside, how like I placed this. Oh, before we furnish it, I want to show you something. So, let's speak about the house. Only the house here. And then about this house. They have approximately nearly the same size. And the texture size of this, only the house without the furniture, is 100 times bigger than the furniture of this house. Can you imagine this? 100 times. I calculated it. And Yeah, so if you have a really expensive new PC with 4090 Ti whatsoever, a graphic card, it wouldn't matter using this. But if you have an average gaming PC, this can make the world. If I would build my world only with those houses or this type of houses, then you couldn't play. It would be unplayable. And I hope with my houses that use only a 100th part of the texture size, and the same is with the polygons. It uses much less polygons, and I hope I will get a good performance even if I use quite high poly trees and so. But I don't use the very high poly trees too. Everything that is where I think, oh, the computers will explode when using this, I won't use. And now I show you something where you get an optical impression of this. So show the collision. And the collision is something different. Well, hey, you should show the collision. Yes, yes. And the collision is something different than the texture size and different than the polygons. The collisions are the objects that tells the game or the computer when you run against it, it stops you. This is the easy version of this. And for this house I made a simple collision that allows you to use the door. So here's an opening, and then you can see there's one part for the roof, one part for the wall, and so forth. And every wall, every piece has its own collision part as is it needed in Unreal Engine. But as you can see, it's rather simple. So the computer doesn't need to calculate very heavy. And now we go over there. And when I saw this, I thought, okay, that was a really good decision not to use this. Here, they use the collision for all the polygons that they have. So there is nothing simplified. You wouldn't need to use this stick for a collision or all those single things. They were just lazy. They could have made it the same way like me, but they were lazy. They thought, oh, the asset buyers at the Epic Store, they won't mind, they will buy it and find it nice, and yeah, when the game is unplayable, they won't realize that it's our houses that make the problem. Yeah, do you see the difference? I hope you can see this. But for me, I found this really impressive. I thought, oh, this is the collision of this house. No, not possible. Yeah, so now I can deactivate it again, this collision mode. Yes, very good. And I must admit, I really like this house. It looks gorgeous. It's an awesome house, an awesome medieval house, and it really has something special. And my house is very simple, I must admit. But you could make such an awesome house with the same amount of texture approximately than I made this house. So, and with the same amount of collision. So you could have made it much more simple, but not with the same amount of polygons. The polygons are those all this. Yeah, what here I have. Let's take. You can't see it, but you can. No, here you can't see, but there you can see. So this wall here consists on. I think maybe between 5 or to 6 polygons, only the wall, because it's always triangles. And then we have some polygons for the window. And I could have made it that every plank has its own shape, and then it would have been tenfold. And yeah, for this kind of wooden house over there, it would be needed. But here I thought I just want to have planks, and therefore I don't need. I have those here, those columns. They are separate faces with their own polygons. But the wall itself is just a wall with a hole inside for the window. Yeah, and I think a simple house is okay. And for the village I want to make timber frame houses. They will be much more sophisticated, if this is the right word. Okay, so now I want to furnish it. Let's go here. And yeah, that's what I wanted to say before. I could just put the furniture inside this, and then this list here of my landscape would be full and overly crowded. Or I could make it the house as a furnished object, and that has the main advantage that I can use it again. So I can use this furnished object and maybe use it in my future final Talundia. And that's what we will do. We will make a blueprint here, and just a blueprint class, yes. And it should be an actor. And I call it blueprint wooden house. Simple. Because it's so simple. So, and now I open this, and it is empty. And now let's say, I think here, I open a content browser that I can use from the left here. So, and now we build from here to there, and later we place the ready furnished house into the landscape, and we remove the other one. So, no bark, this is for later. I have this Talundia area and the meshes. And as you can see, I had several tries, and I worked for more than one day with on this dirt version. It's still not the final version, but for the time being it's rather okay. So now we have the house. This is the static mesh, the house, and we have this inside the blueprint. And now we get the furniture, and I use the furniture from my southern German farm building spec that I made myself, and I gave them a different texture. and I thought because some of this furniture looks old-fashioned enough for a house like that, and I can just pull it here inside, and then yeah, it's a little bit difficult to push it all around. So first a little bit higher because it's narrow in here. Oops. But it doesn't matter if it's not perfect, because yeah, I think I will change it several times. So, but this is the bed already. And then we could have something like, yeah, I think in reality you would have a wardrobe over there. And therefore we put a wardrobe there. Okay. Good. Here, wardrobe. Yes. And maybe if I don't know, have I made, I think I have made a video about how I furnished my first house of those southern German farm buildings. And the others I have only shown when they are were finished. So, and this is rather similar, but in a different surrounding. So, this needs to be a little bit narrower. Okay, here it is in the wall, and this is the scale. And okay. And now we push it again. Yeah. And I'm quite happy that I have this furniture. It was a lot of work, and now I can use it. And this is just a one-room hut, as you can see. So very, very basic. And yeah, the oven should be in the center here. Later I will make this. Where is it? Ah, maybe it is there. So, the oven, where has it landed? Here. Later I will make such an old-fashioned kitchen oven. I don't know whether you know those in America. I think yes, because they were very, very common for a long time. And where you make wooden fire, or maybe a coal fire inside the oven, and it was like a rather big box, not so round and narrow, but more wider, and you had a lot of place on top to cook, and you have an oven to bake inside and all such things. So now we need a pipe. Okay, where is it? But right now we have to live with this very simple, simple oven. And I think you can cook on this. This is important that you can cook on this. And so this goes further to the front. And then okay, and now the next piping, can I throw it here? Yes, yes. So like this and higher up. Oh, it's a little bit too high. I can make it smaller. Like so. And now this double. Now it's Control D. Yes, the name is okay. And then I go outside. Further up. Like so. And it's not so elegant because usually it has to be round or everything. But sometimes they are put together like that. And then we have the last one. Okay. Where is it? Here. Look! I like it. And maybe later I can make some smoke here. I hope so. I think with the particle system that should be rather easy. Okay, so we have a bed and an oven, and now we can add maybe this kitchen buffet. I think that is very typical. But as child of this wooden... No, it want to be a child of the kitchen, of the oven pipe, but I can move this around. So, where is it? Ah, okay. So, and now we turn it around. Okay. Maybe like so, or rather more to the side. We will see. Yeah, we need a table. I think I want to have a table, but first here we put some kitchen cupboards. Oh, I called it cupboard, not good. But this doesn't matter. Okay, now and up. And 90 degrees. Okay. Oops. Okay, this is rather smallish. Maybe I put it beside this anyhow, because we need some place for some logs and such things. And where is the kitchen sink? Here. Okay. Good. And I have to make it new because of those stripes, but for now I can take it and later I can yeah, I can put the new one. So maybe this. Oops. Ah, yeah, it hasn't been at the wall. Okay, and now maybe the smaller one? Or rather, let's see. Yes. A second one. Over there. And then maybe this. Here. And then we have place for the firewood over there. Or maybe I just switch them. So okay. Yeah, I think I won't be able to make a final, very nice and perfectly furnitured kitchen and or hut right now, because it would take too long, but we can make the first beginnings of it. So now about the table. So yeah, it would be best at this wall, I think. And then I need a different place for this buffet. So I try whether it fits here at that wall. And we will fine-tune it later. So now we put the table. Oh, it looks a little bit sad and empty there right now. So I think I will change it later. And I would love to have this simple bench, and maybe I put this bench at that side. Then we have some room division, so to say. Oh, now they go together because the bench is a child of the table, which is not so bad. So I put it a little bit closer, and then we have chairs, and I make them kit of the table as well, but not of the bench. So, no, where is the chair? So, like so, and another one Come on. Yes. Go a little bit closer. Okay. Yeah. And then maybe something like a shelf here. There we could put some dishes, the cutlery and the plates and so. Maybe not today, but later. Cupboards, shelf simple is it is called. Kitchen shelf simple. Yeah, I have those table plates and such things. Where is this simple shelf? Oh. Oh, there are some things missing. Okay. Yeah, so later. And let's see whether the curtains are working. Oh, and the bed is a part of the house. Now the curtains. Oops. Yeah, they work, I would say. It's rather okayish. And yeah, okay. And maybe I just copy it for the other side. Come on, come on. Yes, here we are. And so the bed has to go a little bit more in this direction. And then we need this small cupboard for the bed. Okay. And I want to have an armchair at least. I would love to have a sofa, but I think it's not enough place for a sofa. But maybe for an armchair. And here I think we could fit in such a cupboard. Yeah, okayish. But you would have such a small hut rather cramped, so it would be unnatural if it would be too empty, I think. So let's see what... Oh, here, this is not okay. But maybe we could remove this and place this over there. Oh yeah, not working. And on the other side, because the other side is a little bit bigger, also not working. So let's see whether I can just move the whole oven. Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't need to be centered. And then the sink. Maybe the sink just in front of this window. And then this like so. And let's check whether this is standing at the wall. No. Okay, but now. And then I think that is not such a good idea. I try the narrow kitchen buffet if I have it here. Here I have some shelves at least. So I could use those simple shelves. Not so simple. I have an even simpler one. And this is missing. But that is here. Okay. So maybe I should just put some cups inside. I won't put all the stuff inside that would be needed to make it. And this needs some new UV as well. Before it was just one color and it didn't matter how I made the UV. So this is how the one face is spread on the texture. But now I put some dirt that it looks a little bit more rustic, and then it matters quite a lot. So now, here, do I have this old-fashioned narrow? Here, kitchen buffet small. So, where is it? It is there, okay. Okay, and now turning it. And later there will be usable stuff as well. So not only decorative stuff, but when there is bread, you can take the bread and eat it, and fruits to grab and eat, and such things. Okay, that fits. Yeah. Maybe I could switch those? I think yes. It's just one more minute to do this. So and when I build something in my devlog videos, they are always too long. But in a shorter time I can just show things to you and not really make something. So, and I wanted at least an armchair. The sofa is too big, but that should work. And maybe you miss the bathroom, and there won't be a bathroom in the house. You have the kitchen sink where you can wash yourself, and I guess somewhere I will build an outhouse. So, okay. Yeah. Maybe the sink should be there. Like so. Because it will not only be used for the kitchen but also for washing yourself. Yeah. And maybe this will be empty for the time being. So the decoration is missing, and it's not finished, but it is at least a little bit furnished, I would say. So, and I will bring this in order. And now I can close this. And blueprints, here it is. And I remove this. And instead I place that one. Okay. So, a little bit further to the back. Yeah, I think here's enough place for the chicken coop. We will do the chicken coop at a different time. And now I maybe just add some trees. I think I take those trees. Leaves, foliage, trees, maple. Oh, did I move them? Let's see. No, where are the trees? Not here, maybe. Some things I moved. No, those are my self-made trees that I won't use. Maybe to the landscape. Yes, yeah, exactly. I moved them to the landscape because I made the whole landscape stuff using those trees and other stuff, and I wanted to have them all in one place. Here they are. And oops, no. Why I want to, oops. Now it's smaller, but maybe I can, yeah, now here we are. Maybe I don't make it at the center of the center, but maybe here one tree. Oh, this is a little bit bigger than I thought, so maybe I put it behind and take a smaller one for here. Let's see whether it looks okay. Yeah, I like it better than without. And a bench. I want a bench in the front. This is at the furniture. And I have an outdoor bench that I prepared for this occasion. And I'm just working on firewood, self-made firewood. So, very important bench. And then let's see with the bushes. Generic bush. Yeah, that is nice. So I put some smaller bushes here. So, and maybe you can see that I don't paint them. I could paint them, but I want them to be individual objects. So, like so. And maybe a medium-sized bush as well. That we have some greenery there. Okay. And then maybe a larger bush at the side. Yeah, it looks more friendly already. So, and maybe here a little tree. Let's see the small. Oh, that could just go with this. And then we take, let's see whether the elm tree, oh, could be nice, the elm tree. So. Yeah, and later I will work on this area that it's not such a big empty place, so it will be more cozy. Don't worry about this. Because when I build farms in Farming Simulator, I always need a lot of place for driving around, but this won't be necessary in Talundia, and therefore I can make it all a little bit more cozy. So, but I think that's it for the time being. Yeah, it's already more than long enough. And now we go into the game. And let's go inside. Yeah. And my idea is that it will be possible for the player to get a bigger house after working for a while, and when you earn some money, maybe you can upgrade the house, or maybe you can buy a different house. I'm not yet so sure how I want to do this and what is possible for me. But something will be possible. That you don't stay always in this small hut. But for the beginning, I think it's totally okay. And I will try to make it possible that you can sit down and eat and lay down and sleep and sit at the bench and enjoy the life. Now it's not possible, but that you can sit there and be happy about everything you accomplished and so. So, yeah, that is the first start of the Talundia farm or Talundia homestead. Okay, I wish you a wonderful day. Thank you for watching and all the best. Till next time. Tschüss.